Yamasato National School. Yamasato National School was located 700 meters to the northeast of the blast center. Let's listen to Japanese Wikipedia first. In May 1944, air raid shelters were completed to accommodate all students with the help of School District Women Association. In March 1945, Yamasato Youth Suicide Corps was formed by the 5th and 6th grade students. 11 to 12-year-old Suicide Corps? Don't panic. The picture on the right shows 2 child soldiers captured on Okinawa. On Okinawa, much younger kids were shooting at USGIs. In June, enemy air raids became frequent and could not continue regular classes. Students self-taught in their local community, while teachers visited such communities in order. In July, a stockpile shelter was completed and important documents and materials were brought in. On the day of the atomic bombing, 32 teachers and staff came to school to dig shelters, and 26 teachers, including principal and 2 janitors, were killed, thus only 4 survived. Many mobilized students and the local people assisting the school were also killed. Students did not come to school as it was summer vacation, but about 1,300 out of 1,581 students, 85%, are estimated to have been killed at home or its vicinities. You may wonder why Japanese were digging so many shelters. Those shelters were not only for defense purpose, but also to be used as cave base for the army. On Okinawa, there are countless natural caves of coral reefs which were interconnected way back inside. When Americans advanced after killing Japanese soldiers in a cave, then other Japanese soldiers came around through such interconnecting paths and assaulted Americans from behind. This Japanese tactics finally caused as many as 20,000 deaths of American soldiers on Okinawa alone. Japanese learned the effectiveness of interconnected caves on Okinawa. However, in the mainland Japan, there are so few such natural caves that they dug tremendous amount of shelters and tunnels and interconnected them in preparation for the ground battle expected in November. The Yamasato Youth Suicide Corps were training throwing grenades instead of flying Kamikaze Zero fighters. Their mission was to sneak up American camp, set after landing, and assault them with grenades to initiate a ground battle where other militias follow with rifles, machine guns, grenades, and handheld mortar. Imperial Japanese Army intended to drag Americans into such close combat so that Americans would not be able to use their supremacy in air power and naval gunfire in fear of hurting their own soldiers. Anti-aircraft guns placed all around Nagasaki had also dual purposes. Anti-aircraft guns were designed not only to shoot enemy planes flying high above, but also to shoot horizontally at enemy tanks and foot soldiers. The picture here shows Japanese soldier aiming their 75 mm anti-aircraft gun directly through its barrel to shoot U.S. Army horizontally on Atsu Island in northern Pacific. Anti-aircraft gun shell shrapnel can kill hundreds of soldiers at once if fired horizontally. Also, Imperial Japanese Army prepared armor-piercing shells to penetrate tank armors for the coming ground battle. In the European theater, hundreds of American M4 Sherman tanks were destroyed by German 88 mm anti-aircraft guns firing horizontally. Back to Yamasato National School. It was used by Mitsubishi Weapons account section, and many girls mobilized from Nagasaki City Girls High School were killed. On the rooftop was an air defense post, and most watchers were killed instantly by the direct deadly ray of the atomic bomb while monitoring B-29 movement. In the basement, there were 950 bags of rice, 60 kilograms per bag, in preparation for the ground battle in November, but those rice bags caught fire and were reduced to ashes.